Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a ranked game in my Mogador, going over the matchmaking. The enemy team has an enemy Lexington, Georgia, Bismarck, Double Alaska, Z46, and Shenyang. The map's Greece, 3-cap domination, and we're going to kick this one off. And I pulled this video, it's not the greatest recording, apparently I had some video stuttering issues, but I think that the lesson about how I read what's going on with the enemy CV is worth it to kind of suffer through it. And what's gonna happen, I'm in a French boat, obviously I don't have smoke, I don't really have the best AA. There's gonna be a lot of CV interactions with my ship because I kind of break my rule about positioning my DD away from AA support because I see an opportunity to get something done. And so right out of the gate you can see I'm hanging out with my Neptune buddy. I've asked my Neptune, hey, you running radar or smoke? That's critical for me to know. If he's running radar, he's going to be, you know, moving far more dynamically. He's going to be more likely using islands and things like that if he's running radar. If he's running smoke, he's going to be playing more passively position wise, and he's going to be more stationary. So here CV's coming in, he's doing a good job, wants to get resets going. One of the things I want you to watch is I want you to watch how aggressive I am about using the priority sector of your AA, basically manually focusing your AA to a particular side of your ship. It's something that you're gonna see just how aggressive I am about it, and I've went so far as I've rekeyed the space bar on my keyboard to be my priority sector, and my thinking behind that is simply my thumb's not doing anything. I want a big button that I can just spam as much as possible because of the burst damage that you do to CVs. Now I pushed up here a bit because my CV is spotting the Shenyang, and I'm seeing that I'm going to get a pretty good opportunity here. I do have to kind of pull off because the CV is dropping me, and I just have to say, nah, not like this. It ain't happening. Not in this boat, and not with those torps. So, just taking some shots again, and again, a CV trying to torp a French destroyer, he's really gonna have a hard time. So, you know, I don't mind the CV, you know, wasting his time right here trying to, you know, shoot me down. You can see just how, as soon as I'm just spamming that button, as soon as priority sector already selected, priority sector already selected, I'm literally trying to break the game because when I'm air spotted in these situations, I want to get that burst damage, because usually when I do, I actually get a shot here. Now there was a misplay there. I saw rocket planes a couple seconds ago. I ignored it and I pushed further out from support. This is a misplay here. The CV's recognized correctly that I'm away from my support. He's got a damage dealing opportunity to influence the battle. Now I'm playing this way. I duck in behind the island. He apparently doesn't want to try to drop me over the island. It is kind of an awkward drop. He goes to circle around. I turn back into his planes. Now, I'm forcing him to circle around further and further out. So now he's got to do this big giant circle. The whole time I've gotten 2-3 priority sectors off. I just shot down another plane. I'm making this really painful for him. Now, he is going to get a good drop off here on me. Got 5k off now. I don't know what this is, but I put it into this nonsense quickly. But when I do that, I do have to give broadside to the CV because the turrets on Mogador are just so slow. that even with grease to gears, you know, you've got to kind of stabilize the ship to take a shot like that. So I do take a little bit more damage here. Now this is critical. We just saw rocket planes get wrecked up here. He lost a full squad. He just lost a bunch of rocket planes here with me. The rest are in flight back to the CV. My bet is he's not coming back out with a limited squadron of rockets. He's going to bring torpedoes, he's going to bring bombs, he's going to bring something like that. And sorry, this is the video stuttering issue right here. And boom, we see torpedoes. I'm using what I know about, you know, the carrier hangar capacity, the regen rates, the limitations that are built into the CV. I'm going to use this opportunity to sneak in here and take this cap, and there's not really much the enemy team's going to be able to do about it because they're all positioned heavily around the middle of the map and A cap. And my game plan is I'm going to get radared by the Alaska. There's an Alaska about 10 kilometers from me right now. Obviously I get in the cap and I'm going to be radar detected. So I'm just going to move up behind this island, use this as cover, and as soon as I get this capped, I'm just going to sail right on out and back into my support and get into a correct position where the CV is going to struggle to single me out. I've got a little more than half my HP left, and I'm really going to put the enemy team in a bind here. We've got a ship advantage on them, and you know, now we're going to have a cap advantage too. And you know, the points are going to start racking up and putting some pressure on the enemy to make a move. I do pick up the cap just before secondaries clear that island. I actually wasn't aware that secondaries could shoot over that, but that is that's good to know. And if you had looked at the chat, I had told my CV I'm gonna need fighters, and my CV was smart enough. He actually responded. And this is going to buy me a precious few seconds to push out here and get back into my team. This Lexington, he's basically going to be running these planes on a suicide mission to hit me and try to get any sort of damage on me. You can see I'm turning right into my Neptune. I've got a North Carolina out here. Both of these have pretty good AA. Again, focusing my priority sector. You can see the dispersion pattern on his CV, how it's wide like this, and I want to be in the narrowest part of that reticle. You need to understand how the CV reticles are, how they're shaped, and once you know that, you know how you can use that dispersion to limit the amount of damage that you take. So now I'm right in here with the Neptune and the Palmer, and it's going to be much, much harder to hit me. We've got a Georgia that's pushing in, and he's kind of putting himself in a bind, and I'm just going to go out and I'm going to try to take this guy. And this isn't the slickest play. But I'm basically going to short torp him because he's got to know that there's torps coming out. Now, unfortunately, I was intending for the 3 rack to be the second set of torps. It didn't work out that way. The 2 rack on the Mogador came out, and the Georgia, he basically overturned, ended up eating those 2. We've got a bunch of stuff that's going to try to shoot me right now. I'm going to try to light into this Z46. Now the Z46, he's running right into a smoked up Neptune, and he just evaporates. Going to rotate back on the Georgia. I've just been staying angled to the Georgia. I do get lucky with a fire here, trying to get you know, a fire on the stern, and then I just decide, you know what, I'm just going to AP it. Switch to AP. Now I think I'm actually aiming a little high. Yeah, I'm aiming a little high there, getting the overpens. But my team is able to help put down the North Carolina. And now we've got an Alaska pushing up. Now, what I haven't talked about, I'm running IFHE on my Mogador. And that means that I just chew up most plating on cruisers. So, you know, you've got plenty of penetration with IFHE to shred, you know, even the 27mm hull plating. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna abuse this Alaska, and the course that I'm taking actually has a few different purposes, and one of them is that I haven't seen rocket planes from the CV. He's gonna be desperate for a kill here shortly. My team's all pushing down into C cap. I still need to defend B cap. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna use my guns here, and I'm gonna kite into my CV, and I'm going to end up in a position where I can just run to my CV if I see enemy planes coming my way, and make myself, you know, really hard to hit for the enemy CV when he's looking to try to shave some points off our score for, you know, an easy kill. So these are all things that you should be doing, or should be thinking about when you're fighting CVs. I haven't done the cleanest job at you know, playing this perfect with my position. I was really aggressive about how I was positioning myself early on until I got that cap, and then I saw just how much that cap was going to change the dynamics of the game, and then it's just a matter of survival. And 930 points. We're gonna win this one here very shortly on you know, what may be considered by some, you know, a risky maneuver, but after 2 loads of rockets, you know, particularly losing as many rockets as the CV did on the initial strike, there's going to be a period of time where he needs to let those planes regenerate and also land back on his deck before he can come out with a useful strike. And just using, you know, that natural cycle that a CV just can't keep running the same planes out over and over and over again without exhausting their hangar capacity. They have to eventually bring something else out. Use that minute to your advantage. Sneak in there, get a cap, get some damage in, and then get safe again. Playing CVs, it's a faster paced game than when you're playing in a game where there's no CVs, but there is periods of time in there where you can be aggressive and you can make a move like you would if there's not a CV. It's just more condensed, it's more precise. You need to know what you're doing to see and feel those opportunities and jump on them. And once you do, CVs start to become not as overbearing to play against. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. If you like the video, let me know in the comments below. As always, the build description, links to the community Discord and my Patreon are all in the video description. I hope you guys are having a good night, and I will talk to you later.